One of the writers of Marvel's Echo was recently interviewed in regards to the writing process of the series, where they left Maya off, and what happens next. And they say that there is obviously room left open for a follow-up season, even though they can't talk about the future yet. So this came at us from an interview that was conducted by Screen Rant. They interviewed Amy Rardin in regards to her involvement and if there's been any discussions in regards to the future. And while there was obviously no spoilers, I think most understand and know that Echo will show up in Daredevil Born Again. She did say that it's one of those things where it's a typical Marvel Studios process, where you are doing a season, and that's it. You don't really know what's coming at you, but she believes that there's plenty of room to tell another story that's Maya versus Kingpin that could also involve more of the MCU, and that these two characters naturally have this history now that's worth exploring even further. So once again, I think we all understand that Maya is going to show up in Daredevil Born Again. Now what happens after that? If they make a follow-up to Echo, who really knows? We know that Echo is one of the cheaper series to produce. Because, one, the nature of what the show is, a street-level, sort of crime-based, not all sorts of superpowers everywhere, it's much cheaper to produce Echo than something like She-Hulk. It would honestly not surprise me if Echo's cost was a fraction of some of the other series, like She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, and whatever else. And in that way, they can justify more content. That's why Netflix, through ABC, could renew those shows, because they were so cheap to produce. And it makes sense. So who knows what's going to happen? I certainly believe that we could see more of Echo after Daredevil Born Again, and I think they will definitely bring the character back more, whether it's crossovers or whatever else. And certainly, who knows a year from now, after Daredevil Born Again, if there is more people asking for more of these types of shows, well, going back to Echo, which certainly seems to have done decently enough, why not bring the character back and see what happens next? And maybe not just her versus Wilson Fisk. There's other things you could tie into the history of Marvel that she maybe interacted with some of these characters. Who's to say that maybe she doesn't take on Tombstone or someone, right? Like, there's possibilities all over the place.